Hello again, everybody. This is Comic Book Hangover. It is Thursday, so that means once again it is time for one of my weekly haul, weekly review videos. And, once again, of course, I'm messing around with my setup and with my lighting and all that sort of stuff. So this one might look a little different. Hopefully, at some point, I will find just the right lighting and the right positioning for my microphone, so these videos will look and sound as good as they can possibly look and sound. So that aside, and hopefully it doesn't make my comic books look too bad as I'm showing them off here, sharing them, whatever. So from last week, let's talk about last week's books. There was only three of them that I really want to talk about. Now, I'm not going to talk about Darkhawk number 4, although Darkhawk number 4 was a really good read. It really was. I mean, I'm really glad that we're up to 4, but it's also kind of sad that there's only one more issue to go. I would love it if Marvel would make the announcement that the Darkhawk miniseries is now going to be an ongoing series, so we have another full run of Darkhawk. But it is what it is. Great read. If you're a fan of Darkhawk, I definitely recommend it. If you're a fan of like Power Rangers or Radiant Black, definitely check that one out. So from this one, the first one I'm going to talk about actually came out 2 weeks ago. So it came out last week. It came out a week ago. I don't know. It didn't come out this week. It came out last week. I didn't pick it up. I kind of overlooked it. And that is Good Boy from Source Point Press. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that this is sort of like the John Wick movies, but in reverse. Because I don't know much about the John Wick films. I've never seen them. I'm not a huge fan of Keanu Reeves. But my understanding is somebody kills his dog and he goes off on a bender and just kills everybody. And I can kind of understand that. So this is, if that is one of the premises or one of the ideas of John Wick, this is the opposite of it, but it kind of takes in a different direction. So you have a guy who was like a hitman. I'm assuming from what they've told us in this issue that he was sort of a hitman and real good at his job, but he wanted to quit. And quitting is not an easy thing to do in this line of work. He does wind up meeting somebody, falling in love. Unfortunately, she does die in a car accident, hit head-on by a drunk driver. Now, the dog here, in the flashbacks, the dog is a regular, traditional dog. But then after his master gets killed, he suddenly becomes this anthropomorphic dog and goes off and takes over his master's business, essentially, and gets the weaponry and finds out who did it and decides I'm going to go off and I'm going to kill everybody who hurt me and killed my master. So I mean, that is the basic premise of it. The pacing of it's really good. The art is really good. What really struck me though is there's a line in here that one of the characters says after she's tied up and our main dog here frees her, and she's talking to the police and was talking to the police about how this dog freed her and whatnot, and the police officer kind of gives her a look, and she says something along the lines of, "Oh, come on, you know that anthropomorphic animals exist in this literary universe." So that line there really stuck out with me because that kind of puts us more in lines of like fables, I guess. But it also kind of explains why he's able to talk to other humans and nobody seems to think that this is something extraordinary, and unusual, because apparently in this is a literary universe. So I'm real curious. I was actually only going to grab the first issue just because I thought it was something interesting, something different, but I'm going to stick with this because that line there about this being a literary universe really stuck with me, and I really want to know what's going on from here on in. So, Good Boy. If you're a fan of John Wick, again, I had not seen it. Not really big on Keanu Reeves movies, but if you're a fan of John Wick, I'm assuming that this is going to be a good one for you. If you like an animal, if you like Stray Dogs, which was a miniseries with a different sort of take on the anthropomorphic animals, this is definitely one I want to take a look at. I don't know if this is going to be an ongoing series or a miniseries. Probably a miniseries. I can't see this idea supporting an ongoing book, but definitely check it out. It's definitely worth the read. All right, so bit of a continuity issue there. My little boy came down and he needed some stuff, so I had to pause to help him out. But we're back, so I'm carrying on. The next one I want to talk about. the Robin 2021 annual. Now, the first thing I want to say about this is I'm so happy that DC finally did something with these annuals that I thought should have been done a long time ago. And that was, don't put an issue number on them. I never understood why they put issue numbers on annuals, because you only get one a year. So technically it's all issue 1. I always thought that just having the year is all you need and all that should be on the annual. So this one here, it's not Robin Annual number 1, it's Robin 2021 Annual, and it's long overdue. But that little tiny nitpick aside, in this issue, it's basically a companion to the ongoing Robin series, which is the League of Lazarus storyline. And this one, we get the backup stories, or the backstories, origin stories, whatever you want to call them, to certain characters, specifically Flatline. Now, I really would have liked to have not had her origin so soon, but she does have a really fascinating backstory. She has a very interesting origin story where her grandfather was a hired killer and had something done to him where he was able to collect the experiences and knowledge of those he killed, and he was able to use that to become an even better killer. And he had thought that this experiment, since it was in his genes, that it would go down to his son, but his son, clearly, if you read the book, the guy's a loser. He didn't get it, but his granddaughter got it, and it kind of came out when the grandfather was dying. She touched him, and kind of everything came out. She realized what he was and all that sort of stuff. But a really interesting backstory, probably one of the better ones. I mean, for me, there was a Punchline, Clown Hunter, and now Flatline were the three main new characters that I sort of interacted with, so to speak, in the Batman line in this past year. And Punchline's origin sucked. Just going to put it just bluntly as I can. It absolutely sucked, and it's made her character, to me, uninteresting. She was interesting at first, but when they did the whole social media crap, I lost all interest in it. Clown Hunter, his origin, he was a bullied kid, whatever. He's still an interesting character with a neat look. Flatline, great origin story. You know, it explains her powers. It's very well done. So now there are other stories in here, but that was the main story, and that was a story that really I thought interesting. Now, they did give real quick rundowns of some of the other characters that are in the Robin series. So if you're into XXL or these other ones, there's one in here, I can't remember what its name is, but it escaped from Atlantis. And when this guy escaped, they were like, should we tell Aquaman? They're like, no, let's just hide the fact that we screwed up and this guy got out. So I don't remember seeing him in the Robin book. He may be coming up, but he had a neat look, and apparently he's pretty badass. So, great book. It was a great annual. It was what an annual should be, meaning it was a companion to the main book. It added to the main story. It also had its own thing. It also led into there's a big Batman event coming up in 2022 called Shadow War. I don't know if I'm going to get into it or not, because I'm not interested in events really, and especially Batman events, because they tend to just every book, Batman, Detective Comics, Robin, Nightwing, Batgirls, all these, Catwoman, and probably even a Harley Quinn. It's going to go in all these books, and I have no interest in buying all these books just to get a story. So if I'm still reading Robin when that Shadow War starts up, I'm just going to read the Robin parts. That's all I'm going to have an interest in. So, and it worked out for me during Fear Itself, a Marvel event from years ago. It was really not that interesting. I only read the Journey of the Mystery part with the young Loki, and that was enough. That was well done. It was a well done story. I really enjoyed it. Didn't really need to read the rest. So hopefully history repeats itself with Robin. I don't know. The last one is going to be Hellcop number 2 from from Image Comics. And the first issue was interesting, and it has an interesting an idea where the walls between realities have thinned, so creatures and entities from other realities are coming to Earth and vice versa. They found another reality that was basically hell, and they've got these things, these characters called Hellcops that kind of police the different realities and make sure that if you don't belong in our reality, they send you back. If you come here and you break the law, we punish you and send you back. Now, he was framed for the death of his partner in the first issue. Virgil is the main character here, and so now it becomes sort of a murder mystery. It's like not so much a whodunit, but how do I prove my innocence? And like I said, the first issue was good, but it didn't really grab me. The second issue, though, this really grabbed me. So I'm going to stick with this for a few more issues and see where it goes. Again, it's another one where I don't know if it's an ongoing series or a miniseries. Some of these publishers, for some reason, they don't like to advertise that a book is a miniseries, and I see no reason why that's a problem. It would be nice to know going into something if I'm going to be there for a few months or indefinitely. But Hellcop, the first issue, like I said, it was good, but not great. The second issue, though, it really hooked me. We're getting to learn more about the mythos of this world and the different entities and the different ways things work in this world. And I'm excited about it now. So I'm looking forward to seeing where the story goes. All right. So now, before I go into this week's haul, which I do have actually quite a few books this week, I want to, of course, once again repeat that tomorrow, Friday, there will be no Full Run Friday. That series is on a hiatus through the month of December. That's going to be coming back in January. Mini Monday is also on hiatus through the month of December. It's being replaced with a best of 2021 as pertains to my buying habits. So my best of 2021 is not going to focus on the industry in total. It's going to focus on just the books that I picked up in my collection. So at some point, it may have already popped up somewhere around here. There's going to be a little tag in the corner of one of these corners that's going to take you to the video. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how this whole YouTube thing works. So I'm hoping I put a tag on there so I can show you. It'll take you to Best of 2021, which was my favorite regular covers that I picked up this past year. This next Monday's video is going to be my favorite variant covers, and then we'll go from there. So that said, and of course, as always, like, comment, subscribe, notification button, share the video, all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to show off the books that I picked up this week for my LCS. Now this is another one that, for some reason, I missed it. I don't know how I missed it, but this wraps up from Aftershock Comics. It wraps up Beyond the Breach. The first 4 issues were very interesting, a lot of fun. Again, I don't think it's an idea that could support an ongoing series, so as a miniseries, I think it does really well. I'm very curious to see how it wraps up. Got a couple more here to share with you. So these next 2 are our first issues. They look interesting. I'm going to try them out. Hopefully I'll have something good to talk about next week. So from Vault Comics, Lunar Room number 1 has to do with vampire police officers or werewolf police officers or something. Buckhead number 1 from Boom Box. Now, I think Boom Box is an all ages imprint from Boom Studios, so this is be a kid friendly book. Something to do with like a video game that is like a makes up the town that these kids live in or something. I don't know. I'm curious about it, so I'm going to check it out. For my regular books, Mighty Morphin number 14, and I have a sneaking suspicion that dude on the cover is Zordon because his tube was destroyed in the last issue and they're trying to save him, and it kind of makes sense, and he's blue like Zordon, so it's going to be interesting. If Zordon gets a body, that changes a lot of things, and it's going to make things very, very interesting. So almost done here. This next one is a variant cover. I only picked it out because it's a unique variant cover, and that is Batman number 118. This does homage Spawn number 1, which homages Spider-Man number 1 from the 1990s. It's unusual because Batman usually does not do homage covers. And so with this being an homage, it's like, this is something different, something unique. They even changed the Batman logo to sort of mimic Spider-Man's logo, and even put that all-new collector's item issue thing across the top, which is what was on Spider-Man number 1. So I only picked this up because it's an unusual cover for Batman, an homage cover. So and I don't know, it's the beginning of a story called Abyss. I think we got a new creative team on the book now, so I'm gonna. I may end up reading it just because. I mean, why not? If I have some time and I don't really have a lot of books to read, I'm gonna check it out. All right, next one. This one was delayed. It was supposed to be out last week. Finally came out this week. Silver Coin number 7. I absolutely love that cover, and I'm absolutely enjoying this series. And it seems like it's been so long since I've gotten this one. Basilisk number 5. Seems like it's been a while since number 4 came out. So it's these books then go on hiatus. It's just so annoying. But glad to have this one back. I really enjoyed the first 4 issues of this series, so I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes from here. X-Men Legends number 9, which I do believe this is the last issue of X-Men Legends that I'm getting. It's either this one or issue 10, because it's a great series, but I'm not really that big of an X-Men fan, so the impact of these stories they don't hit me like they would an actual fan of X-Men. So for me, it was a great little run, but it's time for me to move on to something else because it's just not for me. The last one here that I want to share with you, is another win. Again, my LCS, they raffle off books every week. It's usually some sort of a variant cover or something, and I put my name in, for this, that, or the other. I don't always expect to win. It's been a while since I've won, and it seems like last week I got something. The week before, I think I got something. So this week is Gunslinger Spawn number 2. I never grabbed the first issue of this, but now I have the second issue for it, and what the heck? Why not? It's great. It's a great cover. That's if for nothing else, it's a great cover. So that's it. That's what I got this week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week on Monday with another best of 2021 variant covers. And I'm still trying to kind of whittle it down to 10. I want to keep this as not a top 10, but 10 just in general, because there's no way for me to put these in any kind of order, like least favorite to most favorite. So I'm just I want to try to have 10 of them. I'm hoping I can do it. But that'll be Monday, and then again next Thursday, another weekly haul, weekly review video. So again, if you like my videos, if you like what I'm doing, and hopefully the glare of that light isn't too distracting on my glasses. I've been trying to, position myself so that, the glare isn't too bad. Hopefully I've been able to do it successfully. I don't know. But we'll see everybody next Monday. And again, as always, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button, share the videos. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I will see everybody next week, and have a great weekend. See you later.